Hey everybody, how are you doing? It's Marlene from Life with Marlene. I really appreciate you guys being here. Shout out to all you gems and shout out to all the hollers, all my channel members. I really do appreciate you guys. Um, I wanted to come in and, do a little chit chat and talk about this today. I think that it's something very relevant, something I think about from time to time um, when it comes to friendships. So let me see who is here in the chat. Let's see who is in the chat. Hey, Miss Patty, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy new week to you. What is today? Tuesday? Today's Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. So, yes, welcome to you. I hope you're well, Miss Patty. I'm going to talk about this topic today about friendship and mm, I feel like as I get older, I feel like less and less that people really don't really understand about friendship. They don't know what friendship is. And my question to all of you is, do people know how to be friends anymore? Is that something that people are even capable of doing? I think sometimes that people aren't even capable of being a friend. And I can say ultimately that my personal belief is that people can't be a friend to somebody else because they don't know how to be a friend to themselves. I think first you have to first start off by like knowing yourself, knowing what you're about, knowing how to be good to yourself, knowing how to love yourself. And it does start there. At least for me, I can't say for everybody, but I really didn't know how to be a friend. Like I tried to be a good friend to people, but I honestly was not a good friend until I learned how to friend myself, until I learned how to be good to myself, until I learned certain things about me. And until I could know me, love me, I couldn't be a friend to anybody. It's hard to be a friend to other people when you're not even a friend to yourself. And I'll tell you a little bit about what I mean about that is I didn't know how to be a friend to other people because I didn't take care of my own self. I didn't set my own boundaries. I wasn't taking care of me. I let everybody run all over me, treat me like trash. And I know this doesn't apply to everybody because some people have that firm, conviction about themselves that they never let people get away with things. But I definitely was that way. And I always thought it was that I was just a good person, that I was a kind person, that I'm a good Christian woman. And yeah, and all of those things. And it's not being a good person to allow people to use you. That's not what makes you a good person. And I had to learn that for myself, being a doormat to other people, allowing everybody to be like yes to everybody and never say yes to myself. I had to learn how to be my own friend. I had to learn how to take care of my own self. I had to learn to value myself. I had to learn to value my own opinions. And I definitely think that it's very important. Yes, Miss Patty. Let's see what we have here. Miss Patty says, Happy Tuesday. I'm doing well. Thank you. Great topic. I was just talking to my grandson about friendships with me. I expect people to be a friend to me like I am to them. Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that, Miss Patty. We do. We expect people to give back what we put out. But what do you do when people aren't putting out there the same thing that we give back? Do you keep allowing it? And for how long do you allow it? Hey, DJ Ron, the mechanic, how are you doing? I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. I can say for myself, like I give people some opportunities, especially if it's somebody that I've known for a while and they have been there with me, supporting me. They've been good to me and all those things. yes, there are times where sometimes you have a friend that goes through that rough patch or that rough period of time, and they don't know how to get through what they're going through. What they're going through is too heavy of a weight. And this is the time where you need your friends. You need your friends to be supportive of you. And what I've been seeing these days is when people are going through their hardest and their dark times, this is the times they get abandoned. These are the times where people will backstab you. This is the times where people will tell your business. These are the times where there is no support, there is no encouragement, there's nothing but just just terrible, just backbiting and gossip and hurtful things. And I don't know about you all, but I find that people can be the meanest, the most evil and dark when you are in your darkest period. I will say that you really find out who your friends are. You really find out who cares about you when you go through something, and you don't get it until you get it. Because there's nothing that prepared me for what I went through when I went through a few storms in my life, a few struggles. If you have people who are with you through your struggles and your storms, those are people to keep in your life. Yes, yes. Miss Patty says a real friend will sit by you like you sit by them. It doesn't mean that you will agree with everything. And Miss Patty, that's something that I think that you have a lot of wisdom in that statement. It doesn't mean you agree with everything. And sometimes people, because of their circumstance, because of where they are, in the scheme of things of their life, where they are operating, where they're vibrating, they really don't understand that you just aren't going to understand everything that people are going through. You're not always going to agree. You're not always going to be on board or like what another person is doing. But I believe that when you're somebody's friend, that you may not like it, you may not understand it, you may not be in agreement, but you're going to be there and be supportive of it. And I think that part right there is what separates most people, is that the majority of the population, they only are going to be supportive of what they understand. They will only be supportive of what they like. They'll only be supportive of what they personally are in agreement with. Like if they don't agree with what you're doing, they definitely won't. They definitely won't support you. They definitely won't try to understand. They definitely won't be there for you. They definitely won't listen to you. And my mom always told me, um, this is the time where you listen the most. My mother, God rest her soul, she always said that, pay attention to who is around when you're having your struggles. Those are the people that are your true and real friends, because it's easy to be a friend, I believe. My personal belief. I think it's easy to be somebody's friend when things are going good, like celebrations and parties and, good times when you're celebrating some achievement, some goal, or, where, but when you're somebody's sick, when you're grieving a loss, when you're going through some financial losses, when you have a breakup, I mean, you still have those people right there by your side. They've never left. Actually, they're there even stronger and firmer and deeper than they ever have been. Those are, to me, those are a definition of friend. I don't care about having a big crowd in at a party, when you're celebrating something. Those people are not your friends. It's just people who, some people just like to be there when you're on your, when you're elevating. People like to see when good things are happening to you. It's easy to say, yeah, that's my friend, that's my sister, that's my cousin, that's whoever, when it's good. But do you say that's my sister, my best friend, my whoever, when that person may have had some big loss, when they're really struggling, when they really need you? Is that when you say that's my friend? To me, That's how you identify who's really your friends. Yes, Miss Patty, you can't trust everyone. And boy, did I not know that when I was younger. When I was younger, I don't know why I thought people who were my age we just knew everything. Like, I don't know. I just thought that I was invincible. I thought I was invincible. I thought I was the most intelligent. I thought that people around me didn't know anything. I thought I was above everything and everyone. I thought that I could make any decisions and there would never be any consequences. I guess is part ignorance, part haughtiness, part lack of life experiences, just so many things that can cause us to probably be in a space where we blow up our head, like have a balloon head into thinking that we are smarter, better, or whatever than others. But that dissipates as you mature, as you grow up and come into your own as a woman or a man. And I hope that everybody gets to that point. Hey, Rudy, how are you doing? Yes, support. And that I feel that that's something that a lot of people don't know how to do. Do people even know how to be supportive? And like I was saying earlier, it's easy to be supportive of people when you like something, when you understand, when you're supportive. But what about the times where you don't agree or you don't like it? Especially if you don't like the decision or you don't like what that person is doing with their life, are you still going to give your friend that same level of support, or are you going to back down? Are you going to back down from your friendship? Are you going to back down from support? I think one of the things that I've been learning as I'm getting older and maturing is that paying attention to someone who supports me behind my back. I think that that's something very relevant to say when we talk about friendships. Um, yeah, yeah. And my mother, she taught me a lot of things. She had a lot of wisdom. Hey, Wellness, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Tuesday to you and to everybody in the chat. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing awesome. Um, I want to talk about this for a little bit and hear your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think people even know how to be friends anymore? Um, when I was probably about in my teen years, I had a ton of people, friends. But as I got older, I've learned that there's lots of categories of friendships. There's many categories. There are people who are just your peers. There are people who are your associates, and there are the people who are friend. When you say they're friends, the are more like your family. So for me, those are the categories. And there are some people that you can just know, like, I know of you, but I'm never going to get close to you. I'm never going to trust you. So you got to identify people. You have to see people for who they are. And just because people will call you their friend or they'll say, you're my friend, but really, are they showing you friendship? Are they showing you that they deserve to be your friend? There's a lot of times people don't deserve us. And I'll tell you what I mean. I remember when I was in college and I used to see people like all the time, like having friends, having parties, and just a little, like a small little thing will happen, maybe a minor disagreement, and then it's just a major blowout. And then they go their way, and then they start dogging you out to other people, telling your personal and private business. So you find out that people really aren't really your friends. And I can say that we call people by that title friend, but are they really? I thought I had a lot of friends. I really did. I thought I had a lot of friends until I went through a really hard time in my life. And then when I looked around, I was like, really, in actuality, I only had one or two friends. And I thought I had like 10 or 15 friends. So that's where I learned that lesson, that not everybody is my friend. I can know you. You could be an associate of mine. You could be a coworker of mine. You could be a neighbor of mine, but that does not make you my friend. I think friendship really goes by actions. People have to put in some time. There has to be in some level of what have we gone through. I think it's important for people to put that on the table when we talk about friendships. We also have to say, what have you been through together? What have you been through together to prove that you guys are friends? How have they proven to be your friend? And also vice versa. What have you done to prove that you are somebody's friend? And people really do need to learn to prove their friendship instead of just saying friend. Friend is something like people think like on their reels of Instagram, even shorts on YouTube. People only put the highlights of friendship. And for me, I have pictures of my friends in darkest times where my friends have lost a pet, where I've lost somebody, they've lost somebody in grieving during a breakup, maybe a financial loss, maybe losing a job, having to move away, going through a serious health problem. That's the time for me when I can say that's how I found out that I had real and true friends. When probably you maybe need a ride to work, maybe you don't have food to eat, maybe you're going through a lot and you need somebody that you can trust, that you can open up and share how you're feeling. Like, it's a wonderful thing that when you can vent what you're going through and you know that you don't have to hear it back. For me, having that sort of trust, that's a sign of friendship, that I know that I can say whatever it is that I want to say to you and I know that I'm not going to hear it back from somebody else. I think that that's a real sign of friendship. Miss Patty says it's more like associates rather than friends. I'm seeing so much these days until I have to question friendships. Me too, Miss Patty. Like I said, I only have two or three real and true friends that I know I could close my eyes and I can say whatever to those three friends. And I know that I could depend on them for anything. I know that if I needed a place to stay, I know if I didn't have food, I know if whatever situation, and same vice versa, same thing for them. If they went through something, if they needed a place to stay, if whatever, or they needed that emotional and mental support, I know that we were going to be there for each other. And another thing that I have to say is not everybody is that way. And this point may not be for everybody, but I know some people will agree with it. For me, I have spiritual friends too. I forgot that category. And I think that that's an important part of friendships to have, is to have people that will support your spirit. Because this life will do so much to you. It will drag you down. It will make you feel like 2 cents, like a speck of dirt. But to have people that will support you through, prayer, through encouraging words, through affirmation, through motivation, those are great friendships to have. And I had to understand that it's important to have many types of friendships. Don't try to just have the friends that will show up in person. You can have a strong presence online with people who will support you emotionally and mentally. That's a very important friendship support to have. Um, Let me just say that not all the time your relative that you expect to be there to support you will. let's just say that sometimes relatives don't know how to be supportive. They don't know how to be a friend. They don't know how to listen. They don't have good listening skills. They don't have good communication. So they don't know how to be there for themselves, much less how to be there for you. So it's important that we go outside of our normal circle of people that we know, maybe in your community, maybe people you were raised with, and search for friends. You could search for friends in completely different countries. Yeah, having friends, having online support has been so helpful to me for my mental health. It really has. I have about two really close friends, and one of them is a childhood friend. Oh, wow. That's so special, Miss Patty. I'm so happy for you. And I'm happy for anybody that has some good friends, even if you just have one. If you only have one true and real friend, it's better to have one true friend than to have 10 fake, 10 fake friends. And I've seen it. I've seen it so many times with younger people. People will say they're your friends, but the moment something goes wrong, the moment you get into trouble, I've seen it so many times where people get incarcerated and they say that they're, oh yeah, my friends will be there. I was like, how many times did your friends come to visit you while you were in lockup? Yeah. So that to me, that's an indicator. If you can't have somebody to support you when you're going through a hard time, a dark time, and I found one of the best friends that you could ever have in this life is the friends that you will have that will tell you exactly what you need to hear and not what you want to hear. uh, and that was a really hard pill for me to swallow. We sometimes need people to be our friends, right? And not how we want them to be our friends. We need people sometimes that will just give us a kick in the tush and say, "What are you doing?" Or tell us off, or tell us about ourselves, and get us shook up. Like, what are you doing with your life? You're better than that. You deserve to do better. So for me, I feel like a good friend is not just going to be a person to tell you what you want to hear, but a person that will tell you what you need to hear. We got Boss Life Online in the building. How are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. How are you doing, Gio? Welcome in. Happy Tuesday to you. Miss Patty says, I have a few associates. That's good. You got to have the categories, right? You got to have categories of friendship. So let me start off this topic by my first point. Do people know how to be friends anymore? And I feel like this is like one of the most important things about friendship is respect. And that's something that in this microwave society where people want everything fast, 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 people are not respectful in any aspect. They're not respectful of people's time. They're not respectful of other people's opinions. They're not respectful of other people's boundaries. Just no respect. And I kind of understand why that is, because of lack of immature. They're just immature. Um, they're selfish. Um, they just have not been through certain things. They have not learned certain things in this life. So lack of life skills, life lessons. So it's a lot of things that can cause a person to be like that. But one thing that I feel like is a no-brainer for me, like do not pass go, is if a person says they're your friend and they don't respect you. And we have to be honest with ourselves about that. There are people that we call our friends, and they're really not our friends because they don't respect you. They don't respect your time. You make appointments with them, they cancel those appointments. They show up late to those appointments. When you're talking, they overtalk you, or if you say something, they always have something to turn the conversation towards them. They'll start talking about something and then they'll say, oh yeah, that happened to me, and keep keep talking and keep talking and keep talking, and they never let you get out what you want to say. So that's not a person who's a very respectful person. If everything that you say, they always have to mirror something like, yeah, like that, me too, all the time. That's not a person who respects you. So yeah, just like I started off in the beginning by saying that to be a good friend, you have to be a friend to yourself. And I learned that once I learned how to respect myself, I learned how to respect other people. And you really don't get it until you get it. I never thought that I was a disrespectful person until it was brought to my attention that I was. So you can think that you have the right to say what you want to say. And maybe for some that may be true, but you can say whatever you want to say. But you got to understand that saying what you want to say is not going to get you to be on everybody's side. It's not going to get you to be liked. Um, because you always can say what you want to say, but you can say what you want to say in a respectful manner. You don't have to say, oh, this is the way I am, and I can talk to anybody any way I want to, and give people attitude and give people disrespect and cuss people out. Yes, you do. You have the right. You can do that. But why? I always say that that says something about you as a woman, or that says something about you as a man. Because if your only way to get your point across is disrespecting others, got to ask yourself, what does that say about me? Why do I have to disrespect somebody in order to gain my respect? Why do I have to put somebody down to make me feel good? Those are the sort of questions that I had to learn to ask myself. If that's how I have to get respect, then that means I don't respect myself. You're doing good, Gio. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Miss Tracy, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Happy Tuesday to you. Yeah, thumbs up the live, everybody. Thumbs up. Hi, Kyle. How are you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, that's one of the things that I had to learn that for myself, and I do think that that causes you that you have to have some humility. If you don't respect yourself, it's hard for you to respect other people. Respect that other people think differently, feel differently, have been through different things. Aren't gonna have the same get up and go as you. That doesn't mean that that person doesn't like you. It just means that that person is different. As I matured, I learned that about myself. I kind of have wanted people to operate in life just like me, and it's not never going to be that way. Not everybody has the same drive, personality, likes, and all those other things, but I had to learn to respect people who are different than me, because I would want the same respect back. But it's a whole different thing that if I'm respecting people and then they start disrespecting me, now that is where you draw the line to say, okay, this person I cannot be friends with, no matter how long I've known them, no matter how much I like them, no matter how many things you go through. Don't let people keep stepping on you and treating you like garbage and then say, oh, that's my friend, it's okay, or that's my friend, that's just the way they are. Say, oh, you know them, because I've heard people say that all the time. Oh, that's how they are, that's them. No, it don't work that way. Hey, RX Nails, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Tuesday to you. I hope all is well in your world. So that was one thing that when I think about friendship, I think respect is like very high on the list. And if you have somebody and you say you're friends and they don't respect your thoughts, your opinions, your boundaries, they don't support you, you got to question, is this person really my friend? I do this like every season, like every 3 months. I go through my phone and I look in my phone log and see like who do I have as contacts and when's the last time they called me. Okay. And also check myself too. When's the last time I called them? And why are they in my phone? Why are they in my life? Kind of going through that process of, I try my best these days to be very in the moment. And if I don't have people that are giving me what I need at a certain period of time, it's okay to take breaks from people. I just feel like I can't waste my time and my energy on people who really aren't giving me the same time and energy. Yeah, that will hit and resonate with who it needs to resonate with. Yes, good afternoon to you too. Hope all is well with everybody. And here is another thing that I think it wasn't until I was probably like maybe 26, 26 or 27 before I understood that not everybody has the same values. Just because you value certain things, it doesn't mean another person does. Some people have no values. There are some people who are underhanded, dirty. They will do anything. They will step on anybody. They will backstab anybody just to get where they want because they're so hungry to win. They're so hungry to succeed that they'll do anything to anybody, including a person they call their friend. And those are the ones that you really have to be aware of. It's the people that you never would believe that they would do something like that. You never would believe sometimes the people that you feel like you're so close to, you have such a close bond, you guys are so tight, you guys are cool and everything. And then you find out you're really not when something happens. Yeah. So you got to pay attention to those things and then ask yourself, like, are they really my friend if they do this to me? So here's a question. I meant to ask this from the beginning, but what is a friend? What do you believe is a friend to even begin with? The topic today is, do people know how to be friends anymore? And what is a friend? To me, a friend is somebody that I can rely on. I can rely on you. I know that I can talk to them without the fear of feeling stupid, that I can like allow myself to be vulnerable without having to feel like dumb or or put down or anything like that. And for me, a friend is somebody that I know, whether they're in my face or behind my back, that they're going to have my best interest. It doesn't have to, they don't have to be in my face all the time to for me to know they're my friend, because those are people like behind my back. I know they got me. Yeah, and for me, like, loyalty is one of the biggest things, like besides respect. Loyalty is a big deal with me. And a person who can't be loyal, who at any opportunity will discard, confidential talk, tell other people what we've talked about privately to somebody else. Mm-mm. Let's see, before I knew myself, before I respected myself, I would just allow people to treat me any type of way and still call them my friends, still be calling them, still hanging around them, still being phony, still allowing myself to be around people that I know I didn't like. And I had to start listening to my own self and saying, well, girl, what are you doing? They don't like you and you don't like them. It was one of those things that I had to allow myself. I gave myself permission to just be myself and to allow myself to see who really were there, who really is my friend. And friends is not just a thing that people say, like people say these days, that's my bestie, that's my best friend, that's my this person, that's my this person. And you always see that person never getting supported. So if that person has so many friends, why, when they are going through something, you don't see those same said friends? So that's for me. Everybody is going to be different, but let me go to the chat and see what you guys say a friend is. Okay. Let's see what Boss Life Online says. Well, you have to be a friend to yourself before you can really know how to be a friend to someone else. It took me a while to get that, so I had to practice on this. Me too, Boss Life Online. It's a work in progress. I definitely know I was never a friend when I was younger because I didn't know myself. I believe 100% the more you know yourself is the more that you can be there and be supportive and understanding to another person. I know I had to learn how to grow all the way up as a woman. I had to learn to not be intimidated by another woman or another man. I had to learn to stop being jealous, envious of other people and what they have, because I had to learn that I didn't want what another person had. I had to learn to be happy with where I was in my life, with what I had, with what God has given me. I had to allow myself to step into that and just be me because everybody has a different story. Everybody has been through different things. I absolutely concur. Hey, Realist One, how are you doing? Happy Tuesday to you. What's going on? Appreciate you guys being here. And if you have not already, please hit the like. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for all your comments here in the chat. So let me go to my next point. Okay. My thing about this life is, asking yourself, really, are people really, were they ever your friends? And then people say that term loosely and say my friend, my friend, my friend, but you got to ask yourself, are people really your friends? Do you really have the amount of friends that you think you have? I always say do a test from time to time, do a loyalty thing, test them. Well, you know how people say, oh yeah, call me anytime. If you need something, I'm here for you. Test that out from time to time. Test it out. You know, see if you really need something. You really need a friend to listen to. You really need somebody to be supportive of you. Test it out. When people say, whatever you want, whenever you need me, I'm here for you. But are they really? Test it out and see. If you have somebody that'll tell you off, like, why are you calling me so late? Or why don't you do this? Or what, how much, I don't have anything to help you. I can't help you. I don't have the time. I'm busy. Then you'll really find out. The thing about it is that I can say for myself, I knew that certain people weren't my friend, but I wasn't in a space where I was brave enough to walk away from people because I didn't want to face that they really weren't my friend. Um, yeah, it was so hard for me to believe that people that I had known for a long time, that they were just around just to be around. Just because you go through something with somebody doesn't mean that they're meant to stay in your life. There are people who are seasonal friends. They're there for you for, maybe they helped you to get through a certain season in your life, a certain difficulty, a certain trial. Maybe you did some trauma bonding, you went through something together, but that doesn't mean that that's a person that deserves to stay in your life. And that's something that I had to learn. I had to learn that it was okay to go through something with somebody, and you learn something together, and then to set them free and say, thanks for helping me get through that. Have a nice life, and then move on. And then there are some people who are meant to stay in your life for a lifetime. And those are the ones that is very rare to find people like that who will be there for you through everything. Yeah. And I had to ask myself that, like, were you ever really friends? I do think that here, I'll go to my next point, my next and my last point. Um, I hear that word friend, right? People will say friend. We're friends, we're friends, we're friends. But I do think that the word friend is overrated, overused. My friend. Oh yeah, that's my friend. I'm going to my friend's house. My friend, my friend. People call people on the job their friends. People on the job is not your friends. because you go and get fired and see if those same people are going to be calling you and hanging out. Those are your work associates, you know, your workmates. That's it. I don't think that, very rarely, and very small category, you're going to find people that will be your friend that you'll find at a job. But yeah, when it comes to work, you have to separate work from friendship, because at the end of the day, it's about working, getting your money, getting your bag, and leave and go home. Because if people have to choose between feeding their family, keeping a roof over their head, or throwing you under the bus, most people are going to throw you under the bus and save their own skin. They will. So I see Gio in the background. Let's welcome her to the show.
Hey everybody, it's Gio, the Boss Life Online. How y'all doing today? Marlene, I just came up to say I didn't even know how to be a friend to myself. I had no compassion for myself. I was always, why you do that? That's so stupid. You don't know what you do. I was just that big of a critic to
Mhm.
myself. I'm the one that was making myself feel bad. And because I was treating myself like that, that's how I treat my friends. It wasn't until I figured out that once I figured out I needed some help, well, when I got into therapy, is when my therapist asked me, are you a friend to yourself? I said, well, what's that?
Mhm.
So sometimes, because I know all of that and I went through all of that, I have to sit back sometimes and ask myself, they don't know how to don't be getting too mad at them and blocking them out your life and all of this. Maybe you should put them on role friend number 5, until they learn how to be your friend and
Uh,
have more compassion for them. Because see, you made it. You went. You got it. God was there. You asked God for help. You received it. You open up your mind. Maybe other people don't know how to do that yet. I had no compassion, I'm telling you. Okay? But today, I can just say that I just put people on levels of friendship. They don't know no better. Okay, that
um,
don't mean that I have to keep letting them hurt me. You understand what I'm saying? But some people just don't know that they don't know like I didn't. That's how I think about it. And every day I have to think about that because I can, let that old behavior come in to where I don't want to have no compassion.
Gio, you were talking about levels of friendship. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because that was a new concept to me recently when you were talking to me about that. I think that that would be good for you to, if you could expand on that a little bit.
Well, for me, levels of friendship is level 1. If you on level 1, that means you know Geo, you know a lot about her. You can call and say, "Girl, what's up with you? Why you do this and that?" Now
Yeah.
you know. And all I can say is, well, I just wasn't in the right frame of mind, or
Hmm.
blah, blah. Those type of friends that's got my back is on level 1, and that's a dot, 1 or 2 people in my life. Now, I will say this: my friends are Marlene, okay, and my sisters are on level 1. Okay, level 2, you trying to get to level 1. That means that we know each other and we're talking a bit. We're sharing on Instagram. We're calling each other on Instagram. Uh, and I'm trying to see if you are a good fit for me, and
Hmm.
am I a good fit for you?
Right.
Okay, so that is level 2 of friendship. Okay, level 3 is an associate. Okay, that means that, and I'm just telling y'all where I'm at with it, and these are my levels. Okay, that means that it's business. Okay, you are uh, just a good business partner. We ain't trying to learn that much about each other. We just trying to make that bag. We trying to get that money. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Oh, and on level two, you have my phone number. Okay, so let's get back to level three. Business partners is just a business associates. And so when you hear me say, oh, and if you on level five, six, and seven, that means you're about to be blocked out because you ain't treating me right. Five is I do have compassion for you, but if you can't make a change, then I cannot have you in my life. And I'm going to tell you why, because I don't want to go back to the chair. I don't want to go back to the couch. And if you are bringing out that kind of behavior in me, what I'm trying to get over and be a better person and cuss you out behavior, then
Hmm.
no. So
Yeah.
that's level five, six, and seven. You know,
So my thing is, Gio, on on where on what part do you get to where you block people?
level seven.
Okay, so seven is the
That's
like.
it. Five and
Okay.
six is where I try to have compassion.
Mm-hmm.
I will give you two or three chances. And
Mm-hmm.
then number seven is that's it, bye. Because
Mm-hmm.
I had to do it that way so that I know I tried. You understand what I'm saying? That I wasn't going back to that old behavior. So I had to create levels of friendship and where to put people. Because I can't go back to it. That was 5 years of hard crime,
Yes.
hard,
Mhm.
looking at myself, wanting to be better. So people on level five, six, why can't y'all do that?
You
Why?
know what? You know what, Gio? You know what? The why a lot of people can't do that is because it hurts. And I can say that because I remember right before I went through therapy, it's a separation. It hurts, and you want to do something about it, but you can go two roads. You go to the left or the right. The left is when you like, I ain't doing nothing. The right is when you go to right is you go open the door to therapy, but the left man, I don't care, or that's difficult, or you're making excuses. That's where I was. I think that's what it's about is you know that you should do better, but then it's a person who for some reason or the other they don't know their worth, they don't feel like they deserve it, or they just don't want to do anything, they just don't want to make any changes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I used to be that. That's how come I will put you there and leave you there. And if you keep doing me wrong and being jealous and saying stuff behind my back and all of this here stuff, you will
Mhm.
finally make it to level seven. And that means I just don't have anything else to do with you because I tried, you
Mhm.
know. Don't be getting mad at me, Marlene, because we had courage to learn about ourselves, that we open up that door where all the pain was, where we had pushed it down, hid it
Mhm.
behind the door, and we opened it up and we became the women that we are today. We know how to be a friend.
Yeah.
You can't get jealous of that.
They do though, Gio. That's the point. People will get jealous of your success. They get jealous of your friendships. They get jealous that you have that get up and go and that you're consistent, and they don't understand like how can you do it? How can you do it? It's not that it's easy for you. That's what some people don't understand. Being a good person is not an easy thing to do. You think because I'm the person that I am, Gio thinks that about me, but I know that it's different. It's difficult for me. She thinks that sometimes, like, oh, but Marlene, she usually did say, yes, do the right thing. Yes, I say that, but it's because I worked on me and I know myself and I know what I deserve. See, before when I didn't know what I deserved, then I would just like, oh, I don't care. So I would give this back somebody that same energy. But now that I know myself and love myself, I know that I deserve better, and I don't, and nobody deserves to take me backwards.
Yeah. Well, they need to do better. If you got, if see, in order to be on level one and level two, and you have to have worked on yourself. You have to know how to be a good friend to somebody. You just can't just be a friend and laugh in their face and stab them in the back. You know, you can't just be a good friend and come on their platform and see what they all doing and stuff, and the next thing you know, it's on your platform.
Mhm.
That ain't no friend.
Yeah.
You know, a friend is calling a person and say, "Hey, Marlene, I really, really love what you're doing on your platform. Okay, I really would like to do X, X, and X on mine, but I'm gonna put a little twist to it. But I don't want you to think I'm stealing from you.
Mhm.
I mean,
That's
I'm
that
gonna put
that's
it
that's
out there.
listen, Gio, that's called respecting another person.
You know, I mean, you just don't, and especially if you've been on somebody's platform 4 or 5 times, and
Mhm.
or even over 20 or 30 times, or over a year. You Every time I see this person, you on their platform, then all of a sudden they didn't stop playing. I mean, having you on the platform, and they all upset and they talking all around it, and people already know who they talking about. I'm
Messy,
like, that's
messy.
not being no friend. Are you really a friend to somebody? Were you really a friend when you first went on the platform?
See, Gio, but that's the thing, is that you really don't know the motives of other people. You don't know the
Yeah.
motives. You don't know the intentions. That's why I always say that be careful about calling people your friends so quickly. You got to have some skin in the game. Like, okay, what have you been through together before you just be like, it's a relationship that you're trying to form, and you got to see how this person really operates. How are they in front of you? How are they behind your back? Right?
That's why I'm saying that's why I have levels. I had to create levels in order to make sure, that I was treating people right. And not that the levels are bad, it's just to protect me, to protect my energy and to protect me from not going back to how I used to be. I don't never want to go back to what I used to be. I am so much better today, you know. But I do wonder how come people can't open up that left door where all the pain is, and they always want to go right. But all the people that open up the left door and face their fears and the pain, they make
Mhm.
it. They be
Yeah.
successful. And then the people on the right be all mad. And it's nobody's fault but your own, because you didn't have enough courage to do it.
hmm and it does, Gio. It takes a lot of courage when you see, okay, let me give some examples. Like a person who, you have a child, and I don't think there's anybody who really ever is truly fully prepared to be a parent. It's just something that you got a kid, and now you just got to do the best that you can. But it's a person who will put in the work, like, okay, doing some research, having some conversation, not just saying I don't know how to do it and just throw their hands up, or say, oh, my mama didn't do it, or my daddy didn't do it, or I didn't have this. It's like, are you going to use excuses, or are you going to put in some work and find out what is the answer? How can I solve this, and become better? But a lot of people don't want to do that, Gio.
Well, then they have to understand why they on level 5, 6, and then to get blocked on 7.
Get blocked on 7.
I mean, it's not funny like that. But sometimes, even though my therapist told me you cannot control people, you can only put out there what you think, but you have to get ready for the answer back. Okay, because it's not always going to be what you think it should be. So now that I understand about I cannot control people,
Mhm.
I really don't care if you on 5, 6, and 7 because you should have opened up the left door and walked through that pain like I did. Don't be getting jealous because
You
you didn't do it.
You know what, Gio? I will say I do care about the people who is on level 5 and 6, but I don't care about you when you're on 7. I have care and concern for people until they get to the point of no return. And I'm gonna highlight this point from Word. I learned you truly don't know if a person is a friend until you have a disagreement. That will show if either party has value. Yeah,
True.
because one of the things about it is if something happens and there's some form of disagreement, there are some people that you're going to give them a benefit of the doubt. And then some people could be a very small thing and you're just like, screw them.
Well,
You
all I know
know
is
what
that
I'm saying, Gio? It
yeah,
shows like how close you are to people. Like, you know, like there's certain people, like they just irk you and you're just like tolerating them. And then they just do one thing and you're like, yeah, I'm done with them. And then other people who you really care for them that you're going to put in the work to say, let's fix it. But there are some things that people do that is unfixable, can't be fixed.
yeah. Well, I really don't have much more to say other than if you on 5 and 6, like I say, I have some compassion for you, but whatever you're doing, you keep hurting me, you keep backstabbing me, you keep saying
Mhm.
stuff, you keep, and this is for everybody in my life. I'm talking about my life and the people that's in my life, and if you keep doing all of those things, that's yes at some point in time you're going to number 7.
Yeah.
It just takes me a little while to put you in there. It's according on what you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
But
and Gio, I have to say too that there are times where people could be probably level 2 or 3 with you, and then they do something so dirty that they go automatically to 7.
right. It's
So
just according on how people treat you. And I agree with what Word said. I like what he said. Have a disagreement with somebody. Then you're going to really see where you stand with them. See
mhm,
if the friendship, like he said, is it valuable to keep? You
yeah.
know, how much do you care about this person?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you too, Nate. He says each and every one of you have been the greatest to the build, and I greatly appreciate you all.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Nate being sensitive.
Each and every one of you have been the greatest to the bill, and I greatly appreciate you all being sensitive. Go, Nate. Go, Nate. I appreciate it, really.
I really do, Nate. That was super nice. Thank you. Where it says, Nate, stop trying to make us cry, and I send you a turkey sandwich.
Oh, my goodness.
But great conversation, Gio. I really do appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule. I know you're a busy lady.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of affiliate advertising, but I was listening to you and I said, well, let me go up here just for a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and get down so I can
Mhm.
finish up. And I'll see you guys in the chat.
Thank you, Gio. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think that that's something important, everybody. I will say that I have thought people have been my friends, and then they're really not. Like words say, you go through something, there's a disagreement, you find out who people are, or you find out who people are when, um, let's see, like behind your back. To me, that's the real um, showing how somebody is, right? You really find out who somebody is when you're not around, or when they don't know that you're listening, or when they don't know who are your friends. That's another thing that sometimes people have no idea. They'll be talking about you to somebody else and they don't know you and that person are friends. So you have to really have to be careful when you're talking to other people. You never know who somebody else knows. You don't know, that could be somebody else's friend of the family. You don't know who that person could be to somebody else. So got to be careful about what you put out there. When I was younger, my mom used to always say, "Be careful of the energy you put out into this world." And I never used to get that until I got it, because you put out negative energy, you do things that hurt people, you're gonna get that level of hurt or worse. You throw people under the bus, somebody is gonna throw you under the bus. It's just a matter of time. And I will say definitely one thing that was really hard for me when I'm talking about friendships here, it was really hard for me to learn how to be my own friend. That's something that you don't learn until you get to be probably older as an adult, right? You don't learn how to be a friend until you get somebody who is not a friend, right? At least I didn't. I found out by people who didn't know how to be my friend, didn't respect me, those that would throw me under the bus or be disloyal or disrespectful, conniving, manipulative, using. Um, and that's the thing. Like some people label friendship for using. They say, "Oh yeah, that's my friend," but they only call you their friend because they're getting something out of it. They're getting maybe a ride to work, maybe food, maybe advice, maybe something. And then when those lines get cut off, then you're not a friend, right? You're not a friend to somebody until, like, you pull what do you call it, you pull the rug from under them. And I feel like somebody needs to hear this. Not everybody that we call our friend actually is. The people that you're looking at right now could be using you. And when I say friends, I don't just mean people that you know, I mean your own relatives. Because yeah, that your relatives too should be your friends if you really love them. You have to develop those relationships. You have to develop relationships with people. It's not something to just, because I didn't understand that until I went through therapy, that you have to put in work. Every relationship takes work. Romantic relationships, friendships, all relationships take work. And if you're not putting in time into those relationships, it will end. There has to be mutual respect. There has to be consideration. There has to be check-ins. There has to be support. There has to be kindness. There has to be times where you kick each other in the butt. There has to be some of those times. There has to be some, like, what is you doing? What are you doing right now? You deserve better than that. Come on, get up and do it. Go and be consistent. Or you got to have your friends sometimes when you're feeling down and low to say, I believe in you. I know that you're going through something right now, but I believe in you. So I really do hope all of you guys have people like that, to have as a friend, somebody like truly and purely that will support you, truly and purely that will listen to you. And you're not going to have to be like, oh my goodness, waiting to hear it back, walking on eggshells, right? No, that sort of person is not your friend. Somebody is not your friend if you have to, oh, I don't know if I could say that, or, oh man, they're so sensitive, I can't say anything to them, or, whatever it is. Nate, you're hilarious. Yeah, users. That's one thing, Miss Patty, to be 100% honest with you, to be 100% honest with you, I didn't know that I was being used for a long time in a lot of relationships. I really didn't know. I was the type of person that I thought having a big crowd of people meant I have a lot of friends. No, you just have a lot of people who were using you for some reason or the other, financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. But if you're not getting back that same energy, if you're not getting back something, it doesn't have to be match for match exactly what they're giving. You have to give them. But what about a phone call once in a while? What about, that text message? What about saying, hey, let's hang out? Let's spend some time in real time together. Um, you know, be actually being a friend, like just saying, just was checking on you. Hey, I was just thinking about you. Do you have those sorts of friends that will just do the check-ins? Those are rare these days, to have somebody to say, I was just seeing how you're doing. And I have a really great friend that always checks in on my mental health. How's your mental health today? Are you in a good space? That's a good friend. And I do not take her for granted at all. She always asks me, are you taking care of your mental health? Have you got adequate rest? How much water did you drink today? How much did you do this? When's the last time you went to the gym? Sometimes when she says that, it gets on my nerves and I roll my eyes, because I'm not a person that I really love exercise, but I know that when I get that exercise and I go for my walks, I go to the gym, I do my cardio, I do my stretching, my Pilates, my meditation. I know that it puts me in a good space mentally and spiritually. So also physically, but it's good to have friends that will not just be the ones that are just the sweet friends. You got to have the friends be like, you're wasting your life away. Like, what are you doing? You know better than that. You can do better than that. The people who will see the potential within you, those, those, those are your friends, everybody. Those are your friends. Let's see what word is saying right here. Man, I tell you, not only that, but how about when people wedge or make people pick sides? I always felt when people make you pick sides, they really don't care. Yeah, don't let people pick sides. People want to be with who they want to be with, and let them. I always say that, let people be who they are. Nate, you're hilarious. Well, people that make you pick what has better not open the door to the left. Better not pick the left. You better pick that right door. Better pick the right door. If you pick the left door, you're going to be kicked out my life permanently. That's for real and for sure. And one thing that I did have to learn about friendships too is to not try my best not to blacklist people. What do they call that? Blacklist people. Some people that there's no way that they can come back. But I also was in that space before I got to my level of maturity, before I healed, before I went through therapy, that I did a lot of things that I wasn't really trying to do it, but I didn't know better. So I also had to learn to give some people some loving kindness, a benefit of the doubt, actually ask questions, to not make some assumptions, things like that. But and it'll be different. And I'm trying to work on that. Like when people apologize, um, when people apologize to me, you have to like really ask yourself, why did a person apologize to you? Are some people, they apologize just so that you will stop the conversation, like they don't want to talk about it anymore, they just say, oh, I'm sorry, just so that you'll end it, and talking about it. And some people apologize sincerely. Well, you'll find out soon if a person is apologizing and being sincere, or is a person apologizing maybe because they feel guilted into doing that. They know you're a person that they need in their life right now. So you got to really find out and get to the bottom of it. Like, why? When a person says they're sorry for something, why are they sorry? Are they really sorry, or they're just saying they're sorry because they should, or because they just want to keep you in their life, or they want to keep you around for some reason so that they can use you or something. We really don't know 100% why people say sorry, why people do what they do, but mm, you know, let's see what Nate is saying. All it takes is 5 minutes to check in on a friend. Yeah, Nate, and sometimes not even that. It doesn't even take 5 minutes. It takes all of probably 10 seconds to say, how are you doing? You good? And text it. You good? I haven't heard from you in a while. Is everything all right? Do you need some emotional support? Do you need some mental support? So, like what I was talking about, people know how to be friends. We all want friends, but the other part of it too, but are we good friends? Um, I can say for a long time, I always wanted people to be my friends, but I wasn't a good friend. I know that for sure. I was in that time period of my life where I was just going through so many things, and I needed a friend because I was really low. I was low mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. I was low in every aspect of my life. And at that time I needed a lot of encouragement. So I know I definitely was not a friend during that time. But now that I am better, I try my best to remember that people also have dark times and hard times, and they may get discouraged. So it's not that sometimes they don't want to be our friend, but maybe they're in a space that they just can't. They're going through so much, and sometimes they just need you to be their friend. So you really have to read in between the lines and see how that person really is, and see. Yeah, I felt they never cared. Yeah, the majority of the time, people really don't care. Yes, Nate, blackball. hmm To the left. Simply said, if you're not being a good friend, yeah. If you're not, if people aren't a good friend, that's one of the things that I had to learn, that it was okay to let people go out of our life, not just friendships, romantic friendships too. You have to realize that when somebody is not going to be what you need, they're getting you down, they're making you feel discouraged, they make you feel some type of way, they disappoint you all the time, or they just aren't good for you. It's just best for you, being a friend to yourself is so important. You have to know when people aren't good for you, when they're taking you down a road, or they're making you feel some type of way about yourself. Respect yourself enough to let people go. That's a part of being a friend. You have to also be a friend to yourself. Yeah, that part, all of that. So, yeah, that's what I came on. I just wanted to hang out with you guys, go in on this topic, talk to you guys, and I hope you guys have at least one good friend that will support you in whatever aspect of your life that you need at this moment, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. You know, if you need that friend, I hope you have at least one friend. And if you don't, also think about yourself. Am I a good friend? Am I caring? Am I respectful? Am I kind? Do I check on? Am I supportive? So, it goes both ways. It really does. Text your friends. I do. Just thinking of you takes less than a minute. Less than a minute, Gio. You're right. I need understanding beforehand, because I'm a little special, and I can't be there for people sometimes the way they want me to be. I can only be there the way I can. Exactly, word. But the whole thing about that is, if somebody cares about you and you're not being around, like, I'll actually say that, like, right now I need your friendship. And then if I get ghosted and there's nothing, then I don't know about that one. I'm the type of person that now I'm that type of person I didn't used to be. I learned that, finding my own self, stepping into my own womanhood, I learned how to ask for the things that I want instead of waiting, making assumptions, or thinking that another person knows or wants. in friendships too, we also have to learn to ask for what we want. We have to say, I need some support. Can you do this for me? Can you help me with this? What do you think about this idea? So we can't just expect our friends to know things about us, even romantic friends too. We can't make those assumptions and think people know those things. We got to speak up for what we want. We got to ask for what we want, and then we have to actually go for it. Go for the things that you want. Go for the things that you deserve. And I'll tell you why, because you're worth it. You're worthy of having good friends. You're worthy of being a good person. But we also, too, have to put in some work. You got to put in some work into yourself. And you got to respect yourself, and let other people respect you, treat you like trash. Don't allow it. And people who treat you like trash, leave them alone. Stop going around them. Stop pretending like things don't bother you when they do. If something actually bothers you, have you spoken up? Have you talked to the person and let them know, like, hey, when you do that, that ticks me off. Like, can you stop that? And if they continue, then that's a different thing. But most of the time, we assume that people know that they're doing things to hurt us, and there are some times where people don't mean to do things to hurt us. And other times people don't care. They don't care. So it is what it is. That's what I will say. It is what it is. And if I don't get it, then I can't assume. That's facts. My brain is constantly running. So if people need stuff and don't tell me, then I don't know, because my focus is elsewhere. I get it. I get it, word. And that's why I was saying you got to learn to ask for the things that you want. And I definitely used to be that person to think that I know that person knows that I need them. They know I need my friendship. They know I need to hear this. And people don't know. We just think, right? We think, we judge, we all of those things. So let's stop doing that. We are 100% grown women and 100% grown men, and it's time to have these more of these conversations and topics, and be a good friend, not only to others but to ourselves. If we don't know how to be good to ourselves, we don't know how to be good to other people. So be your own friend too. Turn off your phone sometime, go off grid. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your finances. Yeah, do what you need to do for you. Walk in your lights. Don't let other people dim your light. Sometimes those people that are around us are dimming our light, and we got to take a few steps back and think about ourselves. Am I doing what I need to do? And or am I distracted? Like, what's going on? So yeah, take a step back sometimes. That's all I'm saying. Take a step back from people so that you can say, am I on focus? Am I on target? Am I being my own friend? And then, yeah, and then get back on course. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to all of you gems, and to anybody who is new here, a new subscriber, a new gem. Thank you so much. And shout out to all my channel members. I'm going to be doing a first live stream next week. So stay tuned, turn on your notification bell. I'm going to put that post on the community tab for members. So shout out to all you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting me and this channel. And I am Life with Marlene, your channel for motivation, vlogs, travel, and reviews. I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember to be your own friend. Be your own friend and take care of you. There is nobody who is going to love you like you love yourself. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.